at what point do we all come together to get there? We got to do it together.
That's right.
And I'm done. And I'm done. These kids are being butchered. And I mean absolutely
Absolutely.
to a point that I'm shocked that nobody has come forward. Here I am talking about chronic pain.
Hey everybody, I caught myself a seriously good one today, so I'm super excited. We've been really talking about getting this podcast together, so here we are. And before I move forward again, I'm just going to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would not be at this space if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, pushing these videos to people who need to see. I think this conversation is going to be really relevant today, and I'm super excited to bring this person on. So, hey Bella, it's super nice to meet you like in person.
I know, right? Hi, Buck. Thank you so much for having me on. This is a
Thank you.
biggie. So I
Yes.
appreciate
Yes.
your program and just all of it, the
Thank you.
channel, all of it.
Thank you.
You've been
So,
doing really good work. So
thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate that a lot. And
Mhm.
so, why don't you just go ahead and tell us who you are and why you contacted me and what we're going to discuss?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, through this whole lockdown stuff, things
Yeah.
drastically changed, right? And we came out the other side, and we're still dealing with the entire mind control program. We're dealing with unprecedented warfares
Yes.
on a scale, in my opinion, that we have not seen before. Now, as a disclaimer, and I had to write it out a little bit, people, because So, disclaimer: I'm not a doctor or nurse. I'm a published artist and author. My biography is in a Springer medical textbook all about chronic pain.
Wow.
Okay, series 1 and 2. Okay, so these are the books that went into medical school. I advocate every day for my survival, and we're going to talk about that today. I am a medical experiment survivor.
Wow.
Okay, and I want people to understand this isn't a tinfoil hat crown wearing. These are facts today, and I'm tired of conspiracy theories, because if you all are paying attention, truths are coming out, and it's time to talk about this stuff. Okay, so I'm also a UFO, New Age cult whistleblower. So Joe Rogan, Sean Ryan, you might want to pay attention. So I know about how cults started, and in my opinion, I know how this one started, because it's the same warfare.
Wow.
Now, for those that are wondering, I'm a biological, physiological, psychological, chemical woman. I have a uterus.
I'm
I have a
stealing that.
uterus.
I'm stealing that for a T-shirt. That is so
Awesome. Let's do it. Woo, let's do it. Yeah, I am. I'm a mother. I got a uterus. I have one ovary left, and I have breasts that breastfed my child gladly. Okay?
brilliant.
Yeah. So, with that said, I am a mother, survivor of atrocities. I'm an advocate for patients, and I'm a near-death experiencer, and I am one of many chronic pain patients. So, of our nation, right?
Yeah.
We have millions of chronic pain patients.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about chronic pain and also cult warfare. And I know we have a lot to cover in a short time, so I'm going to pow, pow, pow. I've had chronic pain for 30 years, and every Mengele medical experiment there is with chronic pain. And I want parents, listen, if you have a child that is thinking they are trans or midway or even had the surgeries, okay, it is your discretion if you want them to watch this. Those of you that have Munchausen by proxy, that's what I have to say. Let them watch, okay? This is also for adults that are struggling and suffering, because I know all about chronic pain and the three-letter agency mafias and what their plans are, okay? So, again, everything is my opinion, my experience, and if you haven't seen a phalloplasty or vaginoplasty, I've been on both sides of the medical field, virology, microbiology, clinical technician, EMT, first responder, ER tech. I've been on both sides of the coin, okay? These surgeries are no different than a gash that is received in a war, right? The only difference is you get the heroism that's coming in with heroin. That's where the word hero comes from. And these days, you're not going to get it. Okay. So we'll go into that. Now, every hospital box is a medical Mangala system. We do not have healthcare in the United States. So anybody coming in here, don't be fooled. Okay. Because the big pharma and the government, I'm going to have a little bit of coffee. Big pharma, the
Big,
government, and other three-letter mafias
brilliant.
are preying on your mind, your body, and your soul.
Totally agree with you on that.
Okay. Now, I don't want people to think I'm taking over your platform, but as we
No,
talked about prior, we get okay.
no, this is about you. I want everybody to know I'm letting her because she has so much information that
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of be here. If I have a question, I'm gonna pop in. But I just want you to keep going because I
Okay.
think, yeah, it's about you.
So real quick. So I broke my neck, malpractice, giving birth, survived. After that, um,
What?
it was 10 years of, they didn't believe me. And it was 5 years down the road when the doctor went in, shaved my neck in half, all my muscles in half, put me back in the MRI machine. As soon as I came out, they caged me and had cadavers put in. And here, and then after that, it was just a long process and experimentation with a pain pump. We'll get into that.
Wait, they didn't believe that
No,
that you had pain?
no, the nurse and my husband at the time were holding my head up. I was screaming about my neck and I blacked out, had a near death experience there. Luckily, my kiddo is okay. And it talk about malpractice. I didn't win anything. I haven't won anything off of any of my malpractices. And what I like to say is everyone is one diagnosis, one malpractice, one accident, and one surgery away from a life in terminal chronic pain. And if you think that you're a child who might be now because thinking that they're the opposite sex or pressures from high school, middle school, or from their Munchausen by proxy parents, okay, there's a high number going up due to pain. And that includes your average day chronic pain patients because the three-letter DEA mafia and their controls, we'll get into that. And then you think that opiates are going to be available? No, we're all cast as deplorables, okay? And if you go to every corner, you're going to see, and this is what's irritating, it's not fentanyl, it's illicit fentanyl, okay? There's a big difference. So fentanyl is what they use okay, so
Right,
afterwards.
right.
So I had this pain pump installed. I'm not going to mention the maker.
Okay.
That almost killed me. Long infection. They left in an instrument. I had to find a doctor that believed me. They woke me up in the OR with the left in piece. Almost died of staph infection. Had a doctor do surgery without anesthesia. It was just like this whole mess. Okay. And I'm trying to, and then after that 10 years, and I finally, all that stuff, I got hit by a drunk driver, third offense, illegal, no insurance, wasn't in his car. After jail, he went back over the border. My first bill was $44,000. So think about that too, because if you don't have insurance and you can't afford copays, how are you going to take care of yourself? So I know I'm
Wow.
jumping all over the place,
Well,
but
I
yeah.
told you to dump because yeah,
Okay.
wow,
All
wow.
right. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Hang in there, people. So, okay. So with that said, uh, we have to talk about the types of warfare that are going on because this is really warfare, okay, on a population, just like COVID lockdown and the jabs, right? For those of you that believe that or not, it's okay. Everybody has their right. So types of warfare are playing out, in my opinion, like the Looney Tunes. Do you remember the old? Do you remember the old Looney Tunes sign? And like, what was his name? Daffy Duck was looking at
Yes,
the sign, and
yes,
it was every direction. Boop, boop, boop,
yes,
boop, boop. It was
yes.
like the ADHD sign, right? I have ADHD too, so it's every direction, and that's what is happening right now. And because again, my opinion, because these children are raised in a different on the social media, right?
Yeah,
They're not perceiving the same as Gen X did, right?
right, right.
So they're looking up at all these signs, and you cannot focus. You can't focus on all of them, right? So they're pulling apart everybody's psychological means. So So, and it's like, also, here's crazy hypocrisy. They just banned Pepe Le Pew, some of the cartoons of Pepe Le Pew, but you got kids playing Grand Theft Auto where they're killing a woman, or
I I mean, there. Wait a minute. They banned Pepe Le
yeah,
Pew.
there was a Pepe Le Pew. I saw it. It was either last week or
But
the week before.
why? But
I
why?
think it was the one where he was chasing the girl. I don't know the exact, but I'm
Oh
just like,
my!
come on.
These people
But
are
it's just
insane.
like they banned Elmer Fudd because of a gun. Right? It's like, wait a minute. Did we forget all about these video games and virtual
They're
reality?
gonna do Fred Flintstone next because that's
Oh,
why he
yeah.
drags his
Right.
wife by his
Right. Oh, exactly. And then PETA will come out because of the dinosaur training, right? Yeah, I know. I know. It's just been so, everything's been
Wow.
so indoctrinated, right?
Totally. Totally.
So, so, so going back to warfares, there's all kinds. And right now there's biological, right? We have the Mengele medical system, all right? And then we have psychological warfare, environmental, rhetorical, spiritual, reproduction, conversion therapy, weapons, gangs, child trafficking, and the gamut, right? There's many more. And for those that don't understand warfare, you research it. Use your critical thinking because the
Right.
critical thinking has been taken out, and that is cult warfare.
Totally.
Cult
Totally.
warfare.
That's right.
So the cult tactics that our government, once again, is using, yeah, you got blood on your hands and we're going in.
That's right.
So, okay, so, and for those that have never researched predictive programming, we can jump there too. That's another, again, TV programming, right?
Okay.
If you go back to Project Paperclip, and here's some woo for you. That's when, if you don't know, that's when the Nazis came over. We brought the Nazis over in Project Paperclip. And that is when a lot of their scientists and doctors fused with Big Pharma, right? And the Mengele Himmler medical system is what is happening right now, but outwardly. Before it was secretly with the three-letter agencies, because you had thalidomide, right? You had the Tuskegee experiment, which was syphilis for the African Americans, and they just, right? And there's many, many more, but that was all secret. Now these things are, boom, right out in the open. And at what point do we all come together to get there? We got to do it together.
That's right.
And I'm done. And I'm done. These kids are being butchered. And I mean absolutely
Absolutely.
to a point that I'm shocked that nobody has come forward. Here I am talking about chronic pain, because the chronic pain sufferers out there with the opiate agenda,
Yep.
okay, it's a whole play. And so parents out there, pay attention, because if your child, high chance your kiddo is going to be left with chronic pain, because what are they cutting into? The most sensitive nerves in your body.
Wow. Wow.
And they're going to be in the worst pain, okay? And that's chronic. How many of the little boys out there have those pockets that, what was it, in my opinion, Dylan Mulvaney, my Barbie pocket.
Oh God. Oh my God.
So how many pockets out there closed, but did he have the surgery?
No, I don't
Kind
think so.
of, in my opinion, it looks like he has an eating disorder too.
You think so? It's got a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
So we'll get into, and question, everybody, critical think.
Thank you for
Is
saying
this
that.
manipulative? Sure. Okay. They're giving him millions. Why? You're being programmed.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So
Well,
So
let me
the
cut in here
predict-
for 1 minute.
Yeah,
Think
yeah.
about it. Everybody think about what she's saying. Now, don't dismiss what she's saying. Oh, like all this is, how people will immediately go to conspiracy.
Yeah. Oh, they
I'm
will.
telling you right now, What she is saying is for real. That they don't want you to think what she's saying is real. That's the whole point. They want you to think she's a wingnut or we're wingnut because I believe and that's what they're doing. They're manipulating us not to do our research. Oh, just believe what you hear. Oh, just believe. They don't have. That's why they took out debate classes in universities. They are trying to make you believe what they're saying. So I hate to interrupt because there's so much
No,
good stuff here. But
you're right.
regarding the kids having surgeries, and stop saying kids aren't having surgeries because I can show
Oh,
you all kinds of stuff. 13-year-olds getting their boobs cut off. That is surgery. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that's actual surgery. What? So anyway, please go on. Thank you so much.
any
Bella.
surgery is a procedure. It's
That's
a
right.
clinical
That's right.
procedure.
That's right.
Okay, people?
Yep.
How many women out there have breast cancer and are waiting for a mastectomy? Maybe they should say, I'm trans. Jump the line.
I agree.
It's
That's
a
right.
disgrace.
It's same with
And this is
the
a war on women.
no, it's
This is a
sick.
hate crime
There's a hate crime on
on
women.
women.
I'm totally with you. And also the hysterectomy. I interview women who are like, they won't even let me get a hysterectomy unless my husband agrees. I'm like, what world do we live in? What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. And so, right, if you're trans, I told the lady, say you're trans, and they'll put you
Yeah.
in the head of the line.
Yeah. I mean, this is so scary where
Sick.
we are. Okay. So when we go to predictive programming, I was thinking about this
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, what are we looking at here?
Yeah.
And we know that everything is kind of civil unrest right now. We don't know. Third World War, in my opinion, started when they pulled the opiates from chronic pain patients. But nobody knew about this because we're the deplorables. We don't have a voice. And opiates are, you got Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out because you blasted people that take opiates. Well, sit down with me. Why don't you have a woman on?
Why don't
Have
you get
Buck
her?
on.
Yeah,
Why
you
don't
need
we
to
have
get.
Buck on too? Because my spinal cord was ripped out. Okay. I had to relearn to walk, talk, chew, swallow because when the drunk driver hit me, I was in brain rehab for 3 years.
Oh my God.
Here I am. So if you're going to have a balanced show, Joe, have me on or have both of us on. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great.
take a clip of that, everybody, and tag him.
Hopefully Joe can see this. That would
How
be
about
awesome.
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah,
Let's
I think
do
Joe
it.
would have you on. I believe he would.
Well,
I'm
we'll
not kidding.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't. So going to the predictive programming. What was in Game of Thrones? What were the slaves called? Oh, the Unsullied. And what were the Unsullied? Think about it, people. What were the Unsullied? Now, our Unsullied are controlled by what? What do you think the government control other than opiates, other than ADHD medication? Could it be hormones?
Oh my God.
Are they going to use hormones like a dangly carrot? You don't get these unless you fight? Possible.
Wow.
Is this extreme? Is this alarmist? Guess what? I don't really care because I have lived in hell because the government has control over our healthcare system, which doesn't even exist. It's a Himmler medical system. We need to get it back because I'm freaking tired. And now these kids are getting hacked, butchered, right? And I don't even know Buck, how did we get here?
Oh,
right?
They were very slick. Slow. That's how you do it. Slow and methodical. They did it so slow.
Yeah.
And I saw stuff happening 10 years ago, but in my brain, I was like, oh, no, that's just the kids playing
You
around.
couldn't do that. Right.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And now you have people saying they're animals. Well, then I'm a unicorn and I gotta
No,
have
we're
a
taking them
horn.
seriously. We're taking them
I
seriously.
know. So I gotta put a horn in, apparently. I don't know. But this is just okay.
Absurd.
I'll get back my notes. Okay, so we've got the Game of Thrones Unsullied, which can be controlled by the hormones. You don't want your hormones. You're going to go off of them, and what happens? Chaos. You get a chaos agenda there. We also have the Handmaid's Tale, which is right around the corner.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. And then you got, remember, like all the alien shows and all this, and what happened to, you would think that if the government's telling you that, yeah, we have a ship that is not made of this earth, that just gets ignored completely, right? And then you have all these people, there's so many psyops. In my opinion, Project Bluebeam is a psyop. There's all these things that are playing out, and I'm going to get there why. so on top of that, you got New Age fusing with UFO cults, and UFOs are a hot topic right now. So
I'm actually kind of confused. Like a UFO cult?
cult. There's okay. So prior to TikTok,
Okay.
when a certain two social media apps that gather people, uh, you know, you observe how the new age, and after my brain injury, like I was a completely different person. I'm relearning everything. And, I like the supernatural and those things. And So I was investigating that. And in one of these really famous gathering groups, they draw you into to a group, right? And then they groom you. They love bomb you, which sounds familiar, doesn't it? And then from there, they get you in a private group. And from there, they sift you out, find out who they can use, and then they invite you to a chat, a private chat, which is called a task force.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And this UFO guru guy, and among others, and again, Joe Rogan, I think one of them you're very familiar with. But anyhow, uh, just completely preying upon vulnerable people, and that's what's taking place now too. And so the UFO cult people that, in the new age, it's very, for people that are in a vulnerable position and trying to find their way, much like a lot of teenagers,
Yeah.
middle school, right? And so, and I love crystals, I love geology, all this stuff, and you start going down there's so many rabbit holes, right? And I went down them, but that's me. That's me. I want to research and find my answers. For those of you paying attention, that's critical thinking. Now, right? So I went in and I ended up doing radio for this organization. And after observing, I was like, this is dangerous. This is a cult. And so publicly, I said, I'm done with this. This is what I believe they are. And it's a whole scenario came out of that. Now, this was prior to TikTok. Okay. So what happened was social media, and again, this is my opinion, it was a really good testing ground for psyops. Okay. And don't forget, you have other countries watching. So now China put out this TikTok app. And basically you're inviting them into your home, right? And then you had the lockdown. Okay, and everybody was, it's just a complete psychological, biological weapon operation. So you had kids going on TikTok trying to find other kids. Who wouldn't?
That's right.
You got your parents. Who wants to sit with their parents all day? Nobody. So just like the New Age UFO gurus, you have, right? You have narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic cult leaders that are drawing in your kids that are very malleable minds, okay? And telling you, like, there's one that I know you're familiar with on TikTok who had a Patreon inviting the kids to come into the Patreon. So it's all this makeup and men not having these surgeries, but they're, in my opinion, perversions, sexually drooling behind the scenes.
Not even behind the scenes, literally when they're talking, they're like, kids. Yeah,
right.
Totally.
And then, and tapping in, and that is love bombing. That is a cult tactic.
Yep.
This is how a cult operates. So you have, and again, my opinion, all these real big TikTok people, let's say that, it was allowed that it kind of triggered, right? You get this trigger and you want to get popular and this fad and you're a narcissist and I'm going to be this flamboyant telling your kids what they can and cannot do.
Wow.
Grooming. It's grooming 101. So you draw them in, and in that very dangerous one who had Patreon, again, my opinion, drawing those kids in. Oh, have your parents go out of the room and come on in.
I know.
You know what it reminds me of? The frickin' chitty chitty bang bang guy with the cart and they put the kids under the castle. That's trafficking.
It's totally trafficking.
How is that not trafficking?
Oh my God, it's so sick.
How about Pinocchio, Pleasure Island?
Yeah. It's sick. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
that guy on TikTok, I just can't even handle it.
They're cult
They
leaders.
are. He's such a cult leader. Even his face, when he smiles and the eyes, it's so insane.
It's scary.
Yeah, totally.
And when a child under 18 finds a space that is love bombing in such a way, okay, they're going to sculpt because they fit in. Even if they're not trans, they're going to sculpt, right? Because like back in the day, I was a skateboarder. I get that, people, alternative people, you were freaks, right? Whatever. But however, when it involves, I'm not against, Buck, I'm not against you. I'm not against a trans adult. But again, trans adults, you're going to have chronic pain too. So, we'll get there. But however, I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
What was I saying?
You got so much happening.
I know.
We were talking
So,
about.
go. So it's just, it's all cult tactics. Chinese knew it. The government knew it. Again, to allow people to take their tops off that are trans at the White House is a disgrace. You're teaching our children that there's no respect, there's no accountability.
But how do you think we feel as the trans
I
community?
bet.
We were like, what? There are
I
so
bet.
many other trans people who've been doing this for a long time who could have actually been. They asked Dylan Mulvaney to represent, and then a bunch of wingnut trans people taking their tops off, acting insane, like sexually, like what? I'm like, oh my God, you just ruined it for all of us. It
Yeah,
was sick.
and that's got to be hard for you.
It
You've
is.
worked your
It
butt
is.
off
That's right.
to get where you are as an adult,
As an adult,
considering all of your options.
that's right.
But these kids, here's a question for you, Buck. If a kid is not allowed to have puberty, how do they fully know biologically, chemically,
I know, yeah.
that they are not that sex?
That's
They
right.
don't. They don't.
I say it all the time. You
don't.
cannot. That child doesn't understand their own self until they go through puberty. Then they realize, oh, I'm actually a girl or I'm actually a boy. That's where we got them, friend, because that's bullshit. They don't know.
It's such a travesty. And then when you have the parents that are Munchausen by proxy, and for those of you that don't know what Munchausen by proxy, it is a mental illness and a form of child abuse, a huge form of child abuse. If you are letting your kid be botched up by these psychopathic serial killer doctors and nurses, go fuck yourself, because I know exactly where you're going, Big Pharma. You want to put implants into these kids before opiates, because I'm seeing it now. People are being blackmailed that are new, going to chronic pain segregation, by the way. Why are you going in there? Oh, because I have chronic pain. It's called pain management. You got to pee in a cup every month. Yeah. Like a convict, by the way. So we'll get there. But it's the caretaker of a child, most often a mother, either makes up fake symptoms or causes real symptoms to make it look like the child is sick. So if you have two parents that are switching sexes or both sexes, and they're pushing it and indoctrinating their child, and everything on TV is these flags, and you're also pushing maps.
Totally.
I can't even.
I can't.
My Sicilian's coming out, Buck. My Sicilian is coming out. Right?
Totally.
Okay. So it's just
Insane.
it's beyond insane, and it's to the point of scary that if we as a nation are going to allow this, you have to question, where's the line?
Or why? You also have to, why? Why would we do this?
Why would it? Don't doctors take oaths to do no harm?
These are not normal doctors. These are psychopaths.
These are psychopaths that are not making money because of how much insurance they have to pay for now, because they get sued left and right, because that's how it works. And then you've got insurance running the helm. But here's the big one. Okay.
Yeah.
So right before COVID, So COVID, you had this chronic pain situation happening where the three-letter mafia was like, government's in control now. You can only have 90 micromilligrams a day, which for somebody that has terminal chronic pain, I don't care, Joe Rogan, that you think everybody should get off of them. Yeah, get off, and you can go back on. Get off and see where your body is really at. That's not an addict. But what they did was they took addicts, chronic pain patients with addiction, mental illness, plus that stacked, they clumped us all together, right?
Stupid.
You can't go to the ER anymore for pain, by the way. So they clumped us all together, stigmatization, deplorables, everybody's, everybody, I don't care who you are, deserves legitimate health care. I'm not going to judge you if you're an addict. I'm not going to judge you if you want to be trans. I'm not going, but we all deserve healthy.
That's right.
And we don't have that.
No.
This is not different than a Nazi Auschwitz camp at this point. It is open, it is out there. So here's the thing. So the government now controls, and I'm going to prove it to you.
Okay.
What we can have, chronic pain wise. Okay. That includes benzos, which are muscle relaxers, and pain medication. You can't have the two anymore, which I get. However, somebody with severe muscle spasms and pain, what are you going to do? Well, you have to pick one. Anyway, and then you have to urinate in a cup every month. You have to pass the test. You have to sign a contract
In order to
even get anything.
Oh, wow.
And the people that weren't grandfathered in are going to be, and that's where these kids, they're blackmailing patients. Before you have a spinal cord stimulator or a pain pump implant, or before you have an opiate, you have to have, you got to try pain pump implant or spinal cord stimulator. Over a pill. They want to put an implant in you.
Over a pill.
Because they make anywhere from $20,000 to $80,000.
Money.
And opiates, they can't make money anymore.
Oh my God, you just totally said something so profound. Did everyone just hear that? Oh my God, I got chills.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah. And let me tell you.
So now because of fentanyl, opioid, all that.
Illicit fentanyl.
Illicit. Thank you for saying that. So because of this situation, they put a cap on it now, and the government controls all the pain meds because it just got crazy for many reasons. And so now, before you get to even have these opiates, you have to try these other. Oh my God, this is so insane.
And you have to realize, especially you kiddos out there, this is as a person that has survived one and a staph infection after with medical stuff left inside.
Oh my God.
In fact, the mesh they left inside of me was flesh colored, and it's because of me that the color changed. So
what the heck?
It's an implant, and they run a cord in your intrathecal against your spinal cord, and what's happening is those cords are fusing.
But isn't that a dangerous surgery to touch?
Oh. It is extremely dangerous. They're running a line up your spinal cord in your intrathecal space. So I've seen one woman with 3 spinal cord stimulators are different. She had spinal cord stimulator and 2 of them fused on her spine. They can't take them out.
Oh my God.
Because good chance she's going to be paralyzed. And what they don't tell you, steroid injections are bad for you too, but what they don't tell you is once they enter that space, high chance you're going to get like a tumor there. That happened to me. So they don't tell you these things. How many of you parents have gone with your child to a gender transitioning place? Did the doctor or nurse bring up the warnings? Hey, you might have chronic pain for the rest of your life and nothing to take care of it. Nothing. And a lot of kids, I can handle pain. No,
of course.
Let me tell you, as a 30-year chronic pain patient, if you do not understand how to advocate, if I feel so bad for the people that are brand new to chronic pain because it's not the same. Yeah, there were pill pushing agencies.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
at the same time, there are people that need an opiate.
That's right.
It's a not that I don't personally like the synthetics. If I have for my migraines because of my brain injury, I get these migraines where I'm puking. It doesn't stop unless I have something to take.
Yes.
And that could be an opiate or that could be a migraine medication, which they're very expensive. And then otherwise a muscle relaxer. But, and they're making it so they're controlling that. They're limiting you, right? So, okay, so that happened prior to COVID.
Okay.
COVID hits, and what happens? Everybody needs to go get tested. Well, what happens when you go in a line and you get tested medically? Data collection. So the data collection chronic pain patients first for the 3-letter agencies. Now they're data collecting everybody that's willing to go get a test.
Yeah.
Let's see whose minds are malleable.
Yeah.
Warfare. So they do this, right?
Yeah.
Now, and they pushed it further. So what happened with that? And then we came out because of the telemed and keeping track, everybody went on the digital. The portals, the medical portals. Everybody's got this thing.
That's right.
So, gee, what is your medical record number? It's kind of like an invisible tattoo, like Auschwitz on their arms, isn't it?
God. Oh my God. Wow.
Right?
Just wow.
So your medical record number, which is in a portal digitally, that goes across the nation, right? You can't go to a different state anymore and get your meds, by the way. You have to have them before you travel. And if your prescription isn't ready, too bad.
Oh my. Even if you're in chronic pain?
Oh, if you can't make your appointment, they don't give you a kit for withdrawals.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
And women between 50 and 60 have the highest rate of heart attacks. So where's the cardiologist going? And if you're withdrawing, that raises your blood pressure. Well, where are you cardiologists advocating for pain patients?
No, they're not. They don't care about you.
So there's no facilities for us deplorables. They lumped us all together. They want you to go to the corner, get illicit fentanyl, and die. I think it's a purge.
Oh my God.
So everybody has these medical record numbers. And for those of you that have family members that were in, the Nazi camps and stuff, I hope this isn't offensive. I'm just saying this is modern day. This is a modern day
I don't think that they would. I'm in a Jewish household. I don't think so because we do see similarities, I think. And I think anyone who is Jewish and understands what you're saying, you're not saying it in a way that, you're making a comparison.
Yeah, modern day comparison.
That's right.
So you're tracked. And if you're a chronic pain patient, you're bagged and tagged. They know everything about you.
Wow.
But you're a patient, data collection. It's just like ancestry.com. All these things are data collection, right? Wow. Totally. So, right. So you have, so now, oh my goodness. So parents.
Yeah.
Do you want your children to never be able to reproduce, to be in chronic pain, to not know what intimacy is about,
That's right.
to not know what puberty is about, because even if you wanted children and you adopt, you don't know even how to teach them about it.
That's right.
Right? And not to have the big O. I don't know if you can say that on here.
Orgasm. You can't have an orgasm. Are you insane? Okay. What?
Right?
Who does that? That's a human. Actually, that first. Those are the things that really piss me off. Other things piss me off about the kid thing. But you're taking away the rights of a human being to have a sexual space, to have sex, to have procreation, to have all of those things. That should be illegal. That kid can't consent to that. No kid can consent to losing all parts of their sexual being. The reason I am actually the way I feel very powerful in my life is because I learned to have sex with this body. And even though I was told you'll never, I learned to actually appreciate and to love being intimate and having sex, and that's been a very important part of my life. And can you imagine if they took that away from me at 10? What?
And yeah.
No.
And the doctors and the nurses that are not telling the parents that, but not even telling the kids, they can't
That's right.
fathom what this all
They
means. So
cannot.
let's go back to 1975, Buck.
Thank you.
This is what I was given. Okay, I want everybody
Totally
to
remember that.
do you remember
Excellent.
this? What's
Yeah.
happening to me?
Brilliant.
All right.
Brilliant.
And prior to this book, it was Where Did I Come From?
That's
Where
right.
right?
Yep.
So what is this book, everybody? It's from 1975, and
Excellent.
it is a book. Everybody goes through it, but nobody talks about it. Okay, and it's
That's
got
right.
these pictures,
Great.
and it's just a beautiful book.
Yeah.
And you don't need a hairy chest to be tough. It's just,
I
it's
love
just
it.
why you change,
I
okay?
love it. It's
Why
so
you
great.
change, and it gives is puberty. What puberty is? Is it catching? How do you what
It's
what is
great.
it?
It's
Right?
great. Real
So,
simple.
and it's these real innocent images, but
Yeah.
what's really cool
And then
is
they do
give.
show
How do I do this?
sorry Bella, they do show they show naked bodies.
Ah!
So they show you going from a young
From an
person.
8 to 10 year old to 17 to 18, and they give anatomical physiology and what it looks like
Great.
for boys and girls,
Girls and boys.
biological. Okay,
Well, boys and girls. The fact that we
boys
have to
and
say
girls.
biological is
I know it's insanity.
it's insanity.
And my God. And then they talk about testosterone and estrogen. Can you imagine?
Beautiful.
This probably does more sex education than these
They're not giving us any education. They're lying.
well,
They're lying.
yeah, this is amazing. The world's
Wow.
most embarrassing questions, right? I mean,
Right.
it goes through why is my chest getting bumpy,
So good.
right?
So
And it's got everybody has different sizes,
great. Great. It's
right?
awesome.
So,
That is
and then it just goes through what's can I say that? I don't know if I
sure.
can.
Just say it. Just say it.
What's an erection?
Yeah, you can say that.
And it's look at
Medical
Mr.
term.
Sperm there. Do, 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 do.
Oh, I swear, it's so normal. Like it just makes it
Yeah.
normal, which it is normal.
Yeah, and then what's a period? And the little kids looking
Yep.
at the bra going, what do I do with
Yeah.
this?
So
Right?
awesome.
How many of you teachers out there go through this?
Yes.
Oh, probably none.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And then why is my voice acting funny?
That's right.
Okay.
And remember, they used to leave this up to the parents. I remember my parents,
Yes,
my mom,
yeah.
not my dad, but he taught me
Yeah.
all about this stuff when I was
Absolutely.
a kid. Yeah.
Why do I get pimples?
Yeah.
What's masturbation?
Right.
Why am I getting hairy?
Totally normal.
I mean, this is normal stuff, people.
Totally normal.
There's no,
Nope. Nope.
perverted.
None.
What's a wet dream? Why is mine not like his? What?
These are all the most normal questions that kids actually think about, but now
That
they're
they
making the
think of.
kids think other things, which is sick.
Because why?
Money.
Money and
And
grooming cult
grooming.
leaders.
Grooming.
There's, in my opinion, a lot of teachers out there.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then at the end it just says what happens next. And it's just
Aw,
nice and
that's
simple, and it doesn't mind control your kids at how their life's gonna be.
Oh my God.
Y'all talk about, oh, I'm gonna let them be free and they could be a girl or a boy. You're taking away their biological, psychological, spiritual, normal growth puberty, which if they don't experience, they don't know. And then you're taking away what their life path would be if it wasn't for your intervention
How
from
terrible.
a sociopathic, pathological,
Sick.
Munchausen by proxy place.
I
And
never
all of
knew there
you
was
cult
that.
leaders out there, go fuck yourself,
That's
because
right.
this is disgusting. Biden, you got blood on your hands.
That's right.
As I'm said, and this
That's
is
right.
disgusting. Okay,
I don't understand how there's this many Munchausen parents. Like, is it
it's-
that big?
I
I don't think all the parents are.
I don't think
Munchausen.
I don't think all the parents
I
are.
don't.
No.
I think they're being
However-
they're being led down the path with
Yeah.
doctors because everyone believes doctors, which I think is so insane. They're just doctors. They're not
And
God.
they're all, to me, the most egotistical, psychopathic
They're kinda
people out
scary.
there, and they're not making the money they need, and they got too much insurance. So hey, if this little big pharma place over here is going to tell me that I can make $50,000 to $80,000,
So obvious.
let's put in a major implant. And here's the other thing, folks, with those implants and a pain pump. What is that? It's like the size of a tuna can. It goes under your skin in your stomach. In front, it was like huge on me because I have a small waist, right? and then the line goes under your skin, around your back, into the intrathecal space, up your spinal cord, and it drips morphine directly into your spinal cord so it doesn't affect your organs. Great thinking, but no, this is transhumanism. And this is also, you are not guaranteed somebody that knows how to take it out. You're not guaranteed medication in the port. You're not guaranteed that the battery isn't going to go off early. You have to have it changed like every 7 to 10 years. It's major surgery with high risk complications, just like a trans surgery.
Of course.
Any surgery.
Any
Like
surgery.
this major stuff, right?
Totally.
So, oh my goodness. And then you think about these, let's all go there for a second. Let's go into the operating room. And if you parents out there, even adults, if you have not looked up these surgeries or gone and investigated and worked in the medical field,
Yes.
and you don't know, educate yourself prior to saying yes. And this includes hormones.
That's right.
Run like hell. These are red flags, people, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
So, and these doctors out there are so hungry. It is fed, and in my opinion, what they're indoctrinating out now, I always say to friends and stuff, ask for a doctor that's over 45, 48 years old.
Okay.
But a lot of them are retiring now because they're just like,
They're
what?
disgusted.
Their rights are taken away. You got general practitioners that can only write referrals because we're all parts now, right? You got oncology, pain management, it's all segregation.
That's right.
Segregation. And so these doctors aren't looking at whole physiology, they're looking at parts.
Parts.
That's
Great.
it.
Great point.
It's disgusting.
Great point.
It's just right? And these doctors and nurses are being taught don't believe pain. Now let me remember
Wait, what?
how many women out there, how many women out there you've gone to your doctor, you're having a bad periods, cysts on your ovaries, endometriosis, et cetera, et cetera. How many times have you gone to a doctor and they go, oh, it's all in your head?
That's
How
right.
many times?
Me.
Well, you know what? You know what the trans men did, in my opinion? They served that on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Because all these trans men out there saying, oh, I'm getting my period, I'm having cramps, this, that, and everything else, right? Talk about a mind fuck. You just served it on a silver platter to the doctors. It's all in your head.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Wow.
We have fought for how long? Okay. And then what has been proven to me personally, you know, we all probably need some counseling at some point in our lives or somebody to talk to. But what did the psychology and psychiatrists just prove to you?
What did
What did they prove to you?
You mean me?
Are they real? Are they legit after all these
Now?
decisions?
No, they're not. They're part of the whole system now. I'll tell you, I believe in mental health care, and I
Yeah.
have a therapist, and I think there are
Yeah.
really good therapists who want to help. And prior to that, I went to an actual real therapist who helped me with this situation. I'm 31 years transitioned. You know that. I'm solid because I
Yeah.
took a long time, but I think now it's different. They just affirm. They affirm. They don't even do therapy anymore.
Why? Why is that?
Yeah, that's a
What
great
took
question.
place? Why? Who? Okay, so who implemented? Was it Planned Parenthood? I don't know.
Don't get me
Was
started
it?
on them.
Was it? Who was it? Right?
Yeah.
So you've got that side of it, but then here's the other question that I come up with. Who's training on the opposite side of this when they go, oops, we made a mistake?
That's right.
What kind of therapists are training
None.
behind
None.
this?
None. Well, actually,
I
some
don't
are.
know.
Some,
I don't know who's training behind this because it's a moneymaker.
but I think the real therapists are
Yeah.
seeing that, and they're starting. There's
Yeah.
GETA, which is I think Gender Exploratory Therapy Association, GETA, GETA. They're
Okay.
awesome, but they're like us. They see, oh my God, but they're small. The medical world does not care about these detransitioners, and you and I both know there's going to be thousands of them. Thousands.
Yeah,
And then what? What do we
And
do
then
with
what?
that?
Because they're so protected, you're signing away your rights.
Disgusting.
With everything I've been through, I've never won a case. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
And
Yep.
let me tell you, when you've been experimented on,
Yep.
and I mean experimented on,
Yep.
the trauma that comes out of that is no walk in the park. Chronic pain is no walk in the park. And it is it's almost like you wonder if the pain program, they want to control it that way too,
Yeah.
right? Because of the, I mean, they're controlling every kind of medication
That's
here.
right.
So, and then, oh, did you know men could breastfeed? Wait,
And then
hold on a
men
minute.
get
Huh?
pregnant.
Yeah,
What
I know. So I
idiots.
was thinking about that, and I'm like
What?
watching all this stuff, and you have men telling girls what a woman is,
I
what a
know.
girl is.
So gross.
The greatest misogyny, in my opinion, is the men parading around hating women, hating girls, thinking that they are women,
That's right.
replacing us with sports, our safety spaces,
Everything.
breastfeeding,
That's right.
contemplating womb plantation,
Blech.
and with that,
Blech.
premeditative murder to kill the fetus because they can and they hate
I
women.
saw that. She's all, I
Did
want to
you
have a
see
baby so I
that?
can have an abortion. Like, who are these people?
That's premeditative murder, in
You're
my
right.
opinion.
That's a great
Right?
point.
And then you
Great
have
point.
the cult leaders that are pushing it too, the
That's right.
parents too. These are all cult tactics, okay?
Totally. Totally.
Malleable teens, including the women and the girls because they hate them.
Oh my God. It's
Okay.
sick.
So then, and for those of you, and if there's kids watching, what is misogyny? It's a person who hates or discriminates against women, a misogynistic person. These comments attempt to cut much deeper, striking women at what misogynists see as their most valuable characteristics: appearance, sexual purity, sweetness, and submissiveness.
Wow. Just wow.
So here's the big question, Buck. Why is a man's comfort more important than a woman or child's in the women's bathroom or anywhere else?
I know.
Why is a man's comfort more important?
It's a great
They're
question I
shoving
asked.
us back down into the hands-made tale role.
It's literally a misogyny. The trans women are women movement. It's a movement of misogyny. I don't care what. Go F yourself,
100%.
all of you. I'm not part of that. I'm transsexual, but I'm not part of insanity. What are you talking about? That is pure I'm a female. That's pure misogyny at its core. And everyone's just acting like trans women are women. Trans women are women. Like, what? No, I won't stand for it. I will not. But you know what? I have to tell you, Bella, people are starting to see us. They are. They're starting to see what we're saying here.
I'm glad.
They are.
And,
Sick.
woman face, girlhood, it's my 562-day of
I know,
girlhood.
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not.
No, it's
and
not, dude.
if this is so disgraceful to women and girls, and those
Girls.
have been traumatized
Oh my
by
God.
perverted sexual, or
Totally.
been as an adult, or have a TBI, and you get reflective, right? And you're in the bathroom, and something like that happens,
Oh my
and
God.
you've had a trauma like
That's
that,
right.
and hello, so this establishment is saying that that's okay. We don't
They
care.
don't care.
Fuck you.
That's right.
And if you're going to be traumatized by that, you're just triggered and whatever. Well, hello.
What? It's so
Yeah,
insane at its core. And I
Mm-hmm.
cannot even believe. These young girls, I interview tons of detransitioners, mostly all girls. Every single one of them said that they have SA trauma. Can't say it on YouTube because they lose their mind. SA trauma. They all have some form of trauma. They were never spoken about, ever were they looked down about their comorbidities. None of it. They were just 20-minute intake at Planned Parenthood, which can go F itself. And then they were given hormones right there. Done. And they all detransitioned saying, no, I'm not trans. I have trauma that no one looked at. And now they're going to deal with what you just said. Chronic boobs taken off, hysterectomies at 17. Like, what's happening? How are we even letting this happen? How?
I don't know, and that's why we're talking about it.
I could cry. You know that? I could cry.
I have. I'm
is
trying
so
not
insane.
to go there. Yeah.
I know.
And when you want to talk about chronic pain, and parents, I need you to listen.
Thank you.
If you think that your child is now,
Wow.
I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is for all the chronic pain patients out there, not just me.
Okay.
When you're in that darkness, and I mean darkness, everybody's pain is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say you're 16 years old and you just had your penis removed, or your vagina and your breasts. And what causes pain and surgery is nerves, and that doesn't go away. And you can't have sex normally. And you find all this out afterwards because you weren't allowed to have puberty,
Yeah.
and you don't get any enjoyment. And you sit there and you say, what is my life even worth? I can't get help for this pain. They now want to put an implant in. I have to pay for hormones for life. I'm going to have updated surgeries. I'm going to have, do they have books that show the kids that? I mean, they're allowing porn in the schools.
That's
So
right.
do they have books like this?
No, they
Do they
don't.
have books that explain, when you cut those nerves?
Nope.
I mean, sadly in, was it Africa? They did, I mean, the Me Too movement stopped doing clitorectomies
Thank
to the
God.
12-year-old girls
That's right.
in Africa.
I know. It's so
Everybody was up
sad.
in her, well,
Now we're doing that here,
pretty much.
pretty much. It's the
Oops,
same thing.
oops. And there was a TV star that had that surgery,
Oh God.
the
What?
boy to girl. And
Oh,
the
the
two
famous one.
doctors,
The
the
famous.
two doctors, the one doctor you could see it on his face. Why did you cut that?
Oh my
And
God.
when I saw that, and I didn't watch, that was the one episode because I had heard, and I watched it, and I sat down, and I'm like, wow,
You know who
wow.
that
And
doctor is?
the mom just stands there
No, just like
like a knob.
That's right. Totally. That doctor is the head of W Path. So that just says everything right there. And now
Everything
she's
right
back.
there.
She's all, oh, don't listen to the W Path files. It's all fake. And, of course, she's like trying to put it out there that it's fake. We got you, W Path. We got you. You're going down. You're
Yeah,
sick. And I hope every single one of those people goes to prison.
yeah.
They're just
And
sick.
what was it? The mother. Well, I hope she dilates every day, or I'm going to jam that in there.
Oh,
And
my
I
God. Help me.
I'm like, okay, hold up. You want to, in
About
my
her kid.
opinion, you want to cause more pain.
It's just gross. That should never be on any kind of television show. And it's so perverted and weird that your mother is talking to you like that. What? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And how many of those Barbie pockets close up and then
Barbie
they
pockets.
get a major
It's true.
major
It's
staph
true. Oh
infection?
my God, I interviewed Brianna, who at 13 was
Oh,
put on hormone blockers. Everything you're saying. She's in chronic pain. She can't have sex. Her vagina doesn't work. It collapsed. They had to take part of her like colon or something to make the vagina because they gave her puberty blockers so her penis didn't grow. So they couldn't make the actual surgery. Like, what are we doing to these young people?
and they don't call them by name; they call them by their tattoo.
Oh God. Wow. Just wow. Are we really here, Bella? Is this really
I
happening? It's I just am my mind is blown.
I don't I I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, the other part of that is when the government's taking the kid away
And then
without
there's
the parents'
that
right.
here in
I will
California.
tell you what. Who's the dictator that governs there?
Oh God, that oh my God, Newsom.
Yeah.
He's going down
Now,
too.
how many of you out there think that these elites, if they get chronic pain,
That's right.
get nothing? Where do these three-letter agencies put all this medication
Oh
that
my
they
God.
confiscate? So let's talk about illicit fentanyl. What is it?
Yeah.
Illicit fentanyl is a synthetic. Fentanyl is a synthetic
Right.
pain med.
Right.
I had it when I had my whole spine rebuilt, okay?
Wow.
If I didn't have that, let me tell you,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be here.
No.
These surgeries are so major and so painful. So now what they're saying is, I mean, you can't get pain meds for a tooth to be pulled anymore, right? You can only, and it depends on the doctor. You can only have it for 3 to 5 days.
Right.
Pain meds.
Wow.
That's it. Well, some
Just
people need it longer. They have
of
to go to rehab
course.
like I did. Da 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 da. Right? And so, oh gosh, there's so much.
Well,
Okay.
wait, what are they
Yeah,
proving with that? What are they doing? What are people who have actual real chronic pain? They're lumping
I
you
do.
all under the same umbrella. They can't do that. There has to
Right?
be different ways
I know.
of that. And how dare that people themselves. They will
Yeah.
actually
Due to pain is on the rise.
of
But
course.
and of course, when people ask you the stats and stuff, do you think I believe any gathering data collection of
Nope.
stats?
Nope.
Hell no.
Stats.
Hell no.
No, me neither.
And I'm telling you, I mean, I've seen it. It's so heartbreaking when there's pills that pain medication. Bear aspirin used to put heroin in it back in the, what was it, the 30s or something?
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
however, I get that addiction. I mean, there's addiction.
course.
There's a difference between addiction and tolerance.
That's right.
An addict wants chasing that
I'm an
high,
addict. I would be an
right?
addict to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, a chronic pain patient needs
Different.
it just to function. There's
Different.
days when I couldn't get out of bed.
I can't even
I
imagine.
mean it, and every chronic pain patient out there knows it.
That's right.
It is a dark day.
That's right.
I still, you never, it doesn't go away, people. It's 24/7. Well, you don't look like you're in pain. Well, you don't look stupid. Okay? You don't look stupid.
Brilliant.
And I'm freaking fed up with this stigmatizing, gaslighting machine.
Totally.
Because that's what it is, right? So fentanyl, okay, we got doctors that use it. Now, illicit fentanyl,
Right.
you've got chemicals coming in from China to the cartel. The cartel
That's right.
wraps it up and got it over here.
That's right.
Now, 10 years ago, because I used to do a radio show and stuff, I talked about crocodile, zombie drug. Walking Dead much? Predictive programming?
Yep.
Now, xylazine is a horse tranquilizer from Russia. So you've got Russian tranquilizers coming in to where the cartel. You got fentanyl coming in from where? China. Bring it all in, right? Because in my opinion, it's a WMD.
Wow.
Okay. And then you have, I've seen a lot, it's heartbreaking. I've seen people where, hey, my dad's in a lot of pain. He's got cancer. He's struggling. How do I do this?
Yeah.
I don't, this is something I've read about, and,
Sure.
I would never give any kind of medical information to what you could take or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's, and that's where we're at, where people are trying to help their own parents because they're in so much pain and it's terminal.
My God.
They force tapered people without without any medication. Oh yeah, even in hospices,
Wow.
because of the 90 MME limits. Now, so you've got this illicit fentanyl laced with xylazine. Okay,
Right.
you've seen Philadelphia, but it's all over. It's at every corner,
Yeah.
right? We're shoving the vets out so the illegals come in. Okay, we're giving them everything. And what are they carting in? How many of them are mules? How much do we confiscate? Where does the I got tongue-tied. Confiscation go with these three-letter agencies? Because if you remember back with the cocaine wars, wasn't it the CIA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
So, and yeah, and I'm treading there. Okay, so, so, right, okay. It is my opinion, it's the WMD. They're using the word fentanyl now. It's illicit fentanyl.
That's right. That's a
Come
great
on,
point.
people.
That's a great
Okay,
point.
there's
No,
a
but see how
difference.
get
Did
people
you-
to just get on it and start thinking about fentanyl. But you're right. There's a big difference there.
Big difference. There's a drug that's even stronger than fentanyl.
Okay.
That's also synthetic, and I'm not going to put it out there.
Okay.
And that's used for surgeries too.
Okay.
Now, and speaking of, okay, so you have fentanyl. So people that are in pain, I mean, when you're in hell and you cannot, you know what would help you, but the government controls that. And you're just, this path is not for the weak.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
This is not for the weak. And I mean, I've had my moments.
Yeah.
Every chronic pain patient has.
Sure.
And I could not imagine being a 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 22-year-old, whatever. You've just been massacred, like you went into Vietnam, and now you're get an implant over pills. Maybe then we'll try pills. And even, and if anybody has surgery, just normal everyday surgery, if you want pain meds, I'd go in there with an attorney, have some paperwork signed. That's how bad it is. Now, there's been general practitioners shut down because they gave somebody 5-Vicodin for, yeah. Oh, it's bad, people. And nobody heard about this, right? Because again,
No,
we're all gaslighted, stigmatized deplorables.
That's right.
So back in 2017, nobody listened to us.
That's right.
Right? Like saying, hey, the government's got control now.
That's right. That's why
Okay.
it's scary to get the government control like that because it leads
Yeah.
slippery slope, people. Slippery slope.
Well, what happened to HIPAA?
That's
If
right.
you got pain management up there, you're fucking telling everybody why I'm going in. It's segregation. It's modern day
Wow.
segregation with your tattoo.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anybody can look you up. You go to any hospital. And if you get more than one doctor, let's say, they have an algorithm, the three-letter agency that follows you. It's called the NARCS score, NARX. So parents out there, look it up.
Wow.
People, trans people that are suffering, look it up. I don't want people suffering. I don't care who you are. It's just
No.
horrible. Okay, so then, and vets are suffering. So what do you do? What do you do? We don't have health care, we don't have psychological care, we don't have behavioral care, we don't have care. It's a Mangala system. So what do? You want to check out, you want to disassociate because you're just fucking done.
Yeah, it makes
You're
a lot of sense.
fucking done.
Makes a lot of sense.
So what do? You
Yeah.
go become a zombie. And why? Because they want to purge. Again, it's all a part of this purge. That's my
What?
opinion. I mean, it's really, how do you not look at it as a purge?
Meaning like they just want to clean up
Kill
or
off the deplorables, maybe?
yeah. Wow, that's really intense. I
You
mean,
know, you
something's going
wonder.
on, Bella. There's no way we can't
Yeah,
look at this.
you
I don't
can't.
I I,
Yeah.
I appreciate you all everything you're saying. It's so great. I don't know. Could it be that? It possibly could. What is it? I don't know. But something the heck is going on, people. They are
Yeah.
attacking our children. They are
Yeah.
pretending like biology doesn't matter. They're pretending
Yeah.
like, okay, sorry it didn't work out for you, trans person. See you later, alligator. Like
Can't
what?
help ya.
Yeah,
Can't
can't
help
help
ya.
ya. If they're gonna build
Whoop.
a system, they have
Yeah.
to build an equal system. That's how you can tell the trans thing is not equal. It's not about healthcare. It's
Yeah.
something else, or else
Yeah.
they would have a balanced system, right?
Okay, so here's an example. And I said, well, hormones could be used as leverage, right?
Yeah,
If you want your hormones, you get to fight in this. We can draft you and
yeah,
you'll get them,
that's
right?
right. Yeah,
Okay, so back a couple, probably more than a couple years, and we've had shortages on medications. We've had shortages on antibiotics,
that's right.
lidocaines.
Even
How many of you
testosterone.
have eight
Yeah,
testosterone,
yeah,
ADHD
yeah.
meds? Um, that they were saying we can't get them in for a year. To me, okay.
What?
So here. Check this out, Bug. So I was, like I said, I kind of, again, I kind of go into the rabbit hole, but here's a lot you can find. And when you find it, you're like, shit, this is really real, right? Again,
Yeah,
critical thinking, people.
yeah.
So ADHD, they created what is called an ETNS system. So it's a device that goes in here
Okay.
and it connects to here. It's an
Wow.
implant. Guess what it's called? It might not everybody might not know. It's called the Monarch.
The monarch. And what does it
So
do?
Monarch programming is MK Ultra.
It
That's
totally
what they
is.
named it.
Wait, what's the implant for?
For ADHD.
What?
So yeah. So and you can look it up. There's even a
Yeah.
video on YouTube about it. It's all there,
Wow,
and it
this is great.
connects to like a little machine, and it's a line that goes up. Yeah, and they didn't test it, as far as I know. My opinion, they didn't test it on many people,
Of
kids.
course not.
Of
It's like
course not.
stamp of approval. Like,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, right? This is
Sick.
just
Just sick.
so yeah, right? So all these people getting illicit fentanyl, and you're going to find higher rates of unaliving,
That's
right?
right. Yep. Yep.
And
You are.
it's the doctors are not, and the nurses. It's such a money hungry grab, not only from big pharma, and they're back there in their labs going, ooh, how can we make a penis?
Oh, they
Ooh,
totally
how
are.
can we, right?
Yeah, Marcy Bowers, the lady from fucking W Pass. She's like, oh, your vagina looks like a porn star. Like, you weirdo. You're talking to a 15-year-old little kid that you just destroyed. You weirdo. Like, what? Like, Bella, we're gonna have
It's
to
so
end. We're
perverted.
gonna have
We
to
have
end, but
gotten, yeah.
but I mean,
Oh,
we have to bring you back because this is
yeah,
no way. There's no,
I'm in.
we're no way. Maybe
Whatever
we
you
could do a
need.
live and then
I
people
would
can
love
ask
to do a live
questions,
with you.
which I think would be even better.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And let me just put this in real quick. So if somebody's wondering even what chronic pain is, let
Yes,
me give you
yes.
So chronic pain, what is it? Okay, chronic pain is long-standing pain that persists beyond the usual recovery
Okay,
period.
great.
So if you're a teenager watching this, what does that mean? More than 6 months. And it's cut nerves that are going to scream and have your biological chemical body transform
Wow.
in a way that all they can feel is pain all day long.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so with my neck, it's like an inverted collar of knives. I've had so many surgeries, okay, and I'm not kidding. And so I want you guys to understand out there, okay? So it goes beyond the usual recovery period or occurs along with a chronic health condition such as arthritis. So remember, one diagnosis, one surgery, one accident, one malpractice away. Malpractice.
Wow.
Okay. Chronic pain may be on and off or continuous. It may affect people to the point that they can't work, eat properly. So if you're getting your colon cut, take part in physical activity, or as simple as enjoying life.
Sick. I know people in chronic pain. It's horrifying.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. I have friends who are just messed up. You know, it's those. I was lucky with what I did. I don't have any
Okay.
chronic pain. I don't know
Right.
why. I only had one surgery. But you have to remember, my surgery was not as invasive as the
Yeah.
other kids. I got what's called keyhole. They went right underneath my nipple. It's why I don't have scars or anything.
Yeah.
And
Why don't they? Oh my
that's
gosh.
why I recovered well.
Yeah.
The only other surgery I had was the hysterectomy later on because of the hormones destroyed my
Okay.
body. That one actually messed me up. I've been messed up ever since, but I'm not in chronic pain. I just have
Okay.
some weird
Thank
stuff.
God.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
very
should
lucky.
say it's not everybody.
But I did it at
think
an
it's-
older age. Also, it's
Yeah.
the kids. They're doing it at such a young age. There's no way something bad isn't going to happen to them. And also, it's those surgeries. Those surgeries are sick. And they
They
do really bad
It's
things.
horrific. This is like horror story
It is.
2.0
agree.
on such a level that you
I
can't
agree.
even. It's so
So many young kids are doing the bottom
so
surgery.
horrific.
It's
I can't even process it. So
me
I don't know
neither.
what the parents are
Me
even.
neither.
Go to the hospital and ask to see it. Go have your kid. Better yet,
That's right.
go have your kid watch it. How about that?
How about that?
And if you're an
That's
adult, let's do that too.
They make it all
'Cause this
fun.
is-
Joy.
And then if the government can
That's right.
control your kid to that point,
Wow. Just-
how is that not a regime?
I know.
How?
I don't know why people aren't seeing that. It's so bizarre. It's so gross.
I just can't. I can't.
I can't either.
It's
I'm
just we
pissed.
have to stand on the mountain and we have
We
to
have to
educate.
together. That's right.
We have to. It's
That's right.
Yeah.
We have
beyond.
to. We don't have a
It's-
choice. If we care
no.
about these kids, trans is not what you all see out there. It is not. It's a small mental disorder. It's always been and
Yeah.
always will be. These kids are being duped into experiments. Oh my God. And then they're going to hate their parents. They're going to hate their parents.
They're good. Exactly.
That's right, they are.
And that's a part of the program too, because they don't want the nuclear family. They want to break it up.
Which I'm all for family. I'm a family man.
I am too.
Straight up. Yep.
Absolutely.
Don't you dare.
But they want to break it
I
up. They
know.
want to puppet your kids.
You're right.
They want to puppet adults.
It's
They want to
sick.
pervert them. They've got these cult leader sickos
That's right.
that are, I don't know how it's legal. I don't, or just, there is no, what is legal
Yeah,
anymore?
what's
I don't
legal?
know.
That's right.
I know.
That's
Real
right.
quick, I wanted to say, so
yeah.
if there's a kiddo watching,
Yeah.
what is a danger of having gender reassignment surgery?
Okay.
Infections while healing, infections that don't ever go away, MRSA infection, which is a staph infection that can go sepsis and kill you. Healing complications, urological complications, okay, serious problems, puncture between the bowel and the neovagina, which means you're going to go sepsis and probably die. Incontinence, prolapse to no sensation. For sex, dilating incontinence, loss of feeling, no reproduction, no breastfeeding, no intimacy.
Oh my God. What?
So
are we
who's
doing?
yeah, who's
What are we
res-
doing? What are
who
we
do you
doing?
think's responsible? I just don't know.
I don't know either.
I really don't know.
Right on. Excellent.
I don't know, right?
It's a money making machine. They're all sick. They don't care
It's
about
a
us.
Mengele
It is.
regime
It totally
medical
is.
system,
100%.
and it's pulling kids away from the spiritual, beautiful souls that they have inside because they have to focus on what do I need to do next? How much money do I need to give this doctor to do this? When do I have to have it again? You want to talk about becoming a slave to the system?
I know. That's
There
right.
it is. I
There
mean,
it is.
we're all being tethered.
We are.
And we're being data
We
collected,
are.
tethered, and you got to ask yourself, critically think why. And if
Yep.
you're a parent out there that has a child that wants to do
Yep.
this, what are you going to do to take the steps to educate your child to what that means? And I'm not talking about a Barbie pocket that's, I don't know, can I say that without it
Yeah.
being
Go
like
ahead.
copyright or,
Yeah.
I
I don't
don't know
care.
anymore. Well, don't come after me, people. I'm just saying
They
what's
won't.
already out there. I mean, oh,
Barbie
I,
pocket.
right.
The
It's
hell.
not funny, but it's just like,
It's not funny. It's actually disgusting and misogynistic. I don't care what you say.
it's
It
so
is. It's
gross.
disgusting.
And normalize the bulge.
Oh God.
I thought I
They're
was
such
going to.
weirdos.
It's gross. It's gross.
Whatever. I
So
don't know what they think they're doing, but they're ruining
yeah,
it for all of us.
yeah. So what are you as a parent? How extreme? This is so extreme. So how extreme are you willing to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to educate your child?
Yeah.
How extreme are you willing to go to deal with the dictator in California?
Ugh. I don't
And
know.
if you're in Canada, same thing.
Same thing.
Same
Totally.
thing.
Exactly. It's so
So,
gross.
and I sorry, I don't want to.
No, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
caring. Thank you for caring about
yeah,
the kids. Thank you for caring about pain. Thank you for caring
sure.
about all of us because we need you. We need people like you who have lived in a space of pain and
Yeah,
surgeries and hell and back to say, look, kiddo, what are you doing? You're not in a rush. Calm down. It's
yeah,
totally normal to go through puberty and to have boobs. And if
yeah,
later have an adult, it, and trans people exist, people. I'm here. You
yeah.
can't
And
say that
it's
we
not
don't. But
right.
as an adult who actually lived a life before and
Mm,
realized it wasn't for me, it's why I sit here today because I want you to understand there's a nuance in this. But no child can ever, and no parent should ever be put in that position. Ever,
mm-mm.
ever. It's also messed up to do that to parents. It is.
Gaslights them, and they're not doctors,
They
but
don't know. They're lost.
doctors aren't even
No,
doctors.
they're not doctors. They're part of the
They're
system.
Mengele.
They're part
Let's
of the
start. If
system.
they're
That's
Mengele,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
And
and
so, thank you, Bella. You're such a
you're
beautiful human. I
you're
value you as a
welcome.
friend and someone who came on today. And we'll bring you back. I'm sure people. Maybe let's
Okay.
talk about it live. We'll do that. So,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And I just, if anybody else wants me to interview, is that okay to
Of
say? Or
course.
not? I don't
100.
want to use,
Yes.
okay.
Let's get you on other
Contact
shows.
me and I'll give you my email. You can
Great.
put it in
Yeah,
the
we'll put it there. Let's
description.
get you on other shows. We
And
need to
we
do
got
this.
Tucker Carlson. Why don't you have me and
You
Buck
might.
on?
Might.
I
You
mean,
never
where
know.
are the, how are they okay with
I don't
this?
know. They're not. But, again,
Because
that's
they're afraid
mainstream.
because of the opiates. They're afraid
Money.
because of the opiate, the fake opioid agenda.
It's so
Yeah.
gross. The whole thing is gross. But that being said, everybody,
Thank
thanks
you.
for watching. I'll see you guys on Wednesday on the live and send her lots of great love and comments. And let's move forward and get this information out there. And then we start to find what the heck is really happening here. So I'll see you guys all later. Thank